welcome to the channel. Today we'll be discussing prevention of failures in Agile. Are these fails self-made? Let's see, discuss some of that. So the first important point we're going to discuss today about is, as an internal organization, you are going to face a lot of pressures from external environmental issues, right? So whether it's your vendors, maybe they operate in a certain fashion. It's your customers, it's your products, right? It's some regulatory environment issues. Uh, it's maybe you have unions to deal with, right? I don't know. There could be several external pressures that come in an organization, and how do you deal with those? How do you push back against those? That is key because what is happening internally is determined to a large extent by what kind of forces you're dealing with. So, as an organization, if you have chosen to be agile, right, to react and to transform yourself, you have to handle those external pressures. There's no other way. One of the ways to do that is simplify your internal organization structures, right? Layers. How many layers do you have in your management, right? Uh, how hard is it for people to get work done, get changes approved? What's your change management process? These things you can control, right? To the point, are these self-made, right? You can control it. You need to respond. You need to fix your internal organization. That's a key point. Governance. Now, when I talk about governance, one of the key things that will come up in your mind is data governance, right? All of us have heard of data governance, whoever's in IT, especially if you're data folks, BI folks, data warehousing people, uh, data scientists, everybody's heard of data governance. But here we talk about decision making. Going back to my earlier point about organization structures, layers, how efficient are we? Do I have to go through four managers to get an approval, to get a change out? Or, do I have some power myself, right? Can I assume some power in the interest of my product, in the interest of my project, in the interest of my customer, right? Or do I need to get senior level executive approvals every time? Or multiple managers, multiple sign-offs, right? That is something, we have to streamline. Talent, right? This is something I've spoken about previously. Right hire, right training. What are these two things? Let's just, clarify that. Right hires is bring in the people with the right skills, with the right attitude, right certifications, whether it is on the agile side, whether it's the software side, or whatever, whatever part of your organization it is, get the right hires. And for existing staff, right? You are adapting yourself to a new process. You're trying to be more agile. So make sure you have the right training for the people. You can't just throw people under the bus and say, hey, by the way, that's your problem. No, you are responsible. You have to give them the right training. Very key. Now, one of the things that, again, we can control as an organization is how are we evolving our architecture, right? Architecture has evolved from a monolith application to now, more and more people are adopting microservices, right? So to become an agile shop, right, you need to evolve your architecture as well. You cannot be static. You have to keep adapting to the changes and evolution as it's occurring in the architecture side. So that's something in your hands again. It's self-made. If you don't choose to evolve, you're not going to be agile. Support tools. you need to provide your staff the right tools, right? Uh, Jira is case in point, right? Everybody's using Jira now. Many companies have multiple instances of Jira. I know that's a problem, but it should not, stop you from proceeding on this front. It's very important to have the right tools. There's cannot be emphasized enough. Delivery pipelines. Again, it's kind of like that whole evolution I've talked about a little bit a minute or two ago about architecture, right? Similarly, there's other infrastructure evolutions that are happening, especially on the delivery aspect, right? You're doing all this development changes, etc., but you're not keeping up with the latest, changes and enhancements that are occurring, like say on the CI/CD side of things, right? So those are things that help you deliver promptly and quickly integrate and test, right? So those are the sides of things that we need to keep track of. Now, the people, right, who make these things happen are your staff. And if you don't incentivize them, they're not going to try hard enough. So performance linked evaluations link rewards to outcomes, right? You want to be agile, make sure you recognize their successes. And how do you do that? Bonuses, right? Don't just give a bonus just because, hey, the company's met some financial goal, right? That's great, but uh, that's not the only metric, right? You need to also check and evaluate on the team level. How are they operating? How are they succeeding? Are their outcomes being recognized? Some teams that are more agile, more successful, are you recognizing them? Are you rewarding them? Very important. Again, matrix structures, right? That's going to be very critical in trying to be agile. So allow soft linkages between resources of different teams, right? So it's important to let people be available to each other, different teams to access key staff as they need to, make this bi-directional, right? Or multi-directional. So there's no need to restrict and make staff in silos. We need to avoid that. So with that, I would like to say thank you for watching my video today. I'm going to be talking about an interesting topic next time, agile games. I think this is a very under discussed or unrepresented topic, when we talk about agile. And so we'll get into that when we meet next time. Thank you again for listening to me today. Do like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.